let's build another website. We're going to call it the Hero Image site. It's kind of a contemporary style you see a lot of. Ours will be pretty simple, but we're going to build the whole thing. We'll go through it step by step. So first thing I'm going to do is just show you the finished site. So we can close this, and then we'll start building it. So if we go to here, there's my site, and we'll go full screen with it. And what we've got is a big picture across the top, hence the term Hero Image. And then we've got some text that's styled, and we've got a footer. We've got a headline with a custom font, and that's about it. So let's go back. See that it is responsive, which means it resizes as we resize the browser window. And notice my type up here is also resizing. So we'll see how we've done that. And this type stays the same. This type actually changes a little bit when we get down smaller, and we'll talk about that as well. So let's close this for now. And the first step is to prepare the image. And we're going to use an image I provided for you this time through, and then next time around we'll be building a site where you use your own images and things. So we've got an image in your images folder that you've downloaded. We're going to open it up in Photoshop. It's called cherry.jpg. This is a picture that I took in Minneapolis. And if we go to image size, we can see it's a fairly big image. It's 4,032 pixels by 3,024 pixels. That's 72 pixels per inch. And again, if you're seeing inches or something, you can switch pixels and inches, etc. So the first thing we want to do is get it to a size appropriate for our site, and it's bigger than it needs to be. We're still going to keep it pretty big just in case people have big monitors and for some reason want to really display the picture or the website in a large screen. So we're going to just take it down to 3,000 pixels wide. And that's going to make the height 2250. That's okay. We want to keep the resolution at 72. And so 3,000 by 2250 at 72 pixels per inch, and I click OK. There's my smaller picture, and again, if I Command 0 makes it fit on my screen, Command 1 shows it actual size, so I've got plenty of pixels to display well on my screen. Now I want to make it more of a horizontal image, and because I've got a lot of green, a lot of blue up here that's not really doing anything, it's not providing much extra information, so we're going to crop the image. There is a cropping tool, we could use that, but for this particular example, the part I want really is just in kind of the center slice of this image. So I'm going to go under Image Canvas Size. So the canvas is the document, and we're going to basically chop off part of it. And we're going to do that by changing the size of the canvas. So changing the size of the image will stretch or compress pixels. Changing the size of the document, the canvas, just chops them off. So we're going to go to pixels because that's what we want. And instead of making it 2250 high, we're going to make ours 1400 pixels high. So that means we're going to be chopping off about 1,000 pixels. And in our case, this particular image, we want to chop off the top and the bottom, so we're going to just tell it to center the image within that new size canvas. So when I click OK, it's going to tell me that I'm chopping off pixels, and am I happy with that? And I am. So I click Proceed. And there is my altered image. I'm going to save this for the web. So and again, I'm going to use this save for the web for now. It just gives us more information. We're going to go fairly low on our quality. 30 looks Still looks good. I can move it around, so I got something where I can see some detail in the image. Even one of the really low qualities is not bad, but I'll go 30. I'm going to go optimized, and that's fine for what we're doing. And again, just check here, my image size should be 3000 by 1400, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to save this as cherry cropped. And because I've already done this, I've got a cherry cropped file in there already. I'm going to put a -2 after that just so I don't confuse myself, but you don't need to do that because you don't have that. And save it. And there it is. So if you look at this image, that's what we're going to put on our page, is the hero image. You don't have to do this, but if you compare the image here, look particularly at the cherry. I wanted that to stand out a little more, and so I did a little creative editing. If I go back to my preview, and I was in the style sheet. You may do that a lot too. It's very easy to do. If I'm down here and I click preview, it tells me it can't do that. There's an error. My cursor, my selection needs to be in the HTML document, not the style sheet, for my preview to be happy. And there it is, and we'll go big again. So if you notice, the people in Minneapolis probably wouldn't appreciate this, but I took out the building behind the cherry. And I just did that with the cloning tool in Photoshop and some masking. If you look at the details, I also took out some light poles that were sticking up in the skyline here. I just cleaned it up. I got rid of some construction orange signs in here that were okay. They're just kind of competing visually with kind of the focus I wanted on the image. So I just cleaned up the image a little bit. You do not need to do that, but just things to think about when you're working with a hero image like this, a big image, and you want it to serve a certain function. And so that's our first step. So save the cropped version into your images folder, and next we're going to go into brackets and start building our page. So I'm going to shrink that back down, and so that'll be the end of part 1, and we'll be back in a bit and put the image on the page and start adding our type.